So here in this problem, we need to check whether if these three vectors are coplanar or not. Okay, let us begin. First, let's do one thing. Let's name the three vectors. So here we are going to consider a vector to be the vector 3i cap plus j cap minus k cap. Then b vector is going to be represented by the vector I cap minus 3j cap minus 5k cap. And then c vector, let's say it's represented by 3i cap minus 4j cap minus 4k cap. Now our goal is to check that these three vectors are coplanar. However, what we'll do, we will begin by assuming that they are indeed coplanar. So let's say let a vector, b vector and c vector. So these three vectors, let's say they are coplanar. Now, if they are coplanar, there's a particular relationship that exists between these three vectors. The assumption is that the relationship is that we can take any one of the vector from these three vectors and always represent it as a linear combination of the other two vectors. So that means we have x times b vector plus y times c vector, where the x and y, these are going to be two scalars. These are two scalars. Fine. Now, what we have a vector represented by 3 times I cap plus j cap minus k cap. So this is going to be equals to x times b vector. That means we have x times I cap minus 3 times x j cap minus 5x k cap. So this is x times the vector b. And then this is going to be added to y times c vector. So y times c vector means we have 3 times y I cap minus 4 times y j cap minus 4 times y k cap. So what we'll do, we will combine the like terms on the right hand side. So we have x plus 3y. This is going to be multiplied to I cap. Then we have positive negative 3x minus 4y. This is going to get multiplied to j cap. And then we have added to it negative 5x minus 4y k cap. So on the left hand side, we have 3i cap plus j cap minus k cap. Fine. Now what we'll do, we'll equate both sides, and that's going to give us three equations. We're going to get x plus 3y equals to 3. We're going to label this as equation number 1. Then we're going to get negative 3x minus 4y. So this is going to be equals to the coefficient of j cap on the left hand side. So that's going to be 1. Let's label this as number 2. And then we're going to get the coefficient of k cap on the right hand side. So negative 5x minus 4y. This is going to be equals to negative 1, which is the coefficient of k cap on the left hand side. And that's called it equation number 3. The strategy that we'll be using here is we will take any two equations. We can take either equation 1 and 2, or we can take 2 and 3, or we can take 1 and 3. Whichever equation we take, two equations we take, we are going to solve for the values of x and y. And once we get those values, we're going to substitute that into the third equation. And if it satisfies the third equation, then we can say confidently that a, b and c are going to be coplanar, else it's not. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's take equation 2 and 3. So what we'll do, we will take equation 2, and from here we are going to subtract equation number 3. So we have negative 3x minus negative 5x. So that's going to give us 2x. Negative 4y minus negative 4y is going to be 0. Then we have that will be equals to 1 minus negative 1. So that's going to be 2. So this is going to give us a value x of x equals to 1. So now we have the value of x. We can find out the value of y. So now we're going to get y. So y is going to be equals to negative 1. When you are computing the value of y, make sure that you are substituting the value of x equals to 1 in only equation 2 or 3. Don't use equation number 1. So x and y values have been obtained by solving 2 and 3. Now we'll have to check whether if it satisfies equation 1 or not. Now what we'll do, 1 is going to give us, so x value, that's 1. This is going to be added to 3 times negative 1, and on the right hand side we have 3. However, 1 minus 3, that's going to give us negative 2. So negative 2 does not equals to 3. So that means the solution x equals to y and y equals to negative 1 obtained by solving 2 and 3, this is not satisfying the first equation. So this means that a, b and c are not coplanar. So that means our assumption was wrong. So we will say that hence these three vectors, the given vectors a vector, b vector, c vector, that these three vectors are non-coplanar. We cannot express any one of the vector as a linear combination of the other two vectors.